well. Just wanted to record a brief introduction for my next interview, which is with writer-director Brady Cates. His recent horror short, Cat and Mouse, just played at the Portland Horror Film Festival, and wanted to drop in the trailer in advance of our interview. Check it out, and I hope you enjoy.
You can't let him get away with this, Michelle. Think of what he's taken from you. Who he's taken from you. You know what to do. You know how to end this. Kill him.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for taking the time to join me. I'm Janine, of course, from Graeae Horror, and I'm delighted to introduce my latest interviewee, Brady Cates. Brady, how are you?
Good, Janine, how are you?
Yeah, very well. We were just saying before the call, we are melting here. We actually have some summer. It's wild.
Melting just along with you. It's hot. It's very, very hot.
That it is indeed. So I wanted to thank you, first of all, for taking the time to meet with me. So I got introduced to you through Instagram. You reached out to me with one of your shorts to review, Cat and Mouse, which is really exciting, and I really thoroughly enjoyed the film. But do you want to do a bit of an introduction to yourself to our audience here who may not be familiar with your work?
Yeah. My name is Brady Cates. I'm a Midwestern filmmaker. Cat and Mouse was actually my first short film that I ever made. And I love horror movies, specifically slasher movies with strong, badass characters.
That definitely resonated, and we'll get to Cat and Mouse in a bit, because that's definitely the vibe I got from you. And I had a feeling it was your directorial debut, because it was a bit of a struggle trying to find something. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about your background, how you came to work in the film industry?
Yeah, so I guess it goes all the way back to when I was like 3 years old. The first horror movie I remember seeing was the remake to Chainsaw Massacre with Jessica Biel. And my sister showed it to me, and my mom was like, "What the hell are you doing? Like, why are you letting him watch that?"
Yeah.
And I went to sleep that night and had no nightmares, and then it just kept going and going and going. And I remember watching movies and then figuring out what the special features were and listening to the director commentaries and the how it was made, and it just fascinated me so much, knowing that was that much that went into making a movie. And so throughout elementary school, junior high, me and friends would always make little YouTube shorts and think we were gonna, be the next big thing. And I was about to graduate high school, or it was probably my junior year, and I was gonna go to school for psychology. And my mom could see it on my face that was not what I wanted to do. And she's like, "Brady, you're gonna waste all this money. You're gonna end up hating what you're doing. What do you really want to do?" And I was like, "I want to make movies. I want to get into the movies." So we found
Love that.
yeah, thank you. We found a tech school in Minneapolis, MCTC, and I went there for 2 years and then graduated with a degree in film production. And I actually took a year off after graduating. I didn't get right into the industry, and I moved back to my home state of Wisconsin. And I was working as a waiter and bartender and realized that I wanted to get back into the industry. So I came back in 2022, I want to say, and I've been working as a production assistant and set dresser ever since then, and writing so much. Any idea that I have, I try to get it into a notes app or my script writing software and just get it out of my head or talk about it. I'm always talking. I live with a bunch of creative people. One of my roommates is also a writer, so we just go back and forth about our little movie ideas all the time. So that's my background right now, and I love it.
That's so cool.
Thank you.
I love it. I love that your mum encouraged you and saw creativity in you, because I know a lot of traditional parents would have been like, no, you're sticking school out. This is what you're paying for. But she encouraged that dream. And I love that. That's so refreshing to hear.
Yes, thank you. And she's the best. I'll give her a shout out right now. She supports me through everything, and she may not understand the whole process of making a movie or what my title necessarily is, because she'll always be like, "Oh, you're a producer." And I'm like, "Nope, I'm a writer director." And she's, "Oh, yeah, okay." Trying to inform her on that and how hard it actually is to make even a short film. Like we did, it was a year of just you know re-edits and scoring and festival submissions. Just it's such a process, and it can be short or it can be long. It just depends.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone's story and journey is so different, especially in independent filmmaking. It's
Absolutely.
and it will vary so much between projects as well, you'll find, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Wonderful. And your work to date is included, obviously, shorts. I've seen you've acted in a few, you've produced as well, mostly in thriller and horror spaces. What is it that draws you to these darker stories? Is it just the love of film from that young age, that Texas Chainsaw Massacre era?
Yeah, I think. Don't get me wrong. I love a good rom-com every once in a while, and action is definitely something I really get into as well. And the more stories I find myself writing, the more action horror they are grounded in. Um, but I would say I find those stories so fascinating because you do get a little bit of every genre in a horror movie. You can look at Obsession. That's a little bit of
Yes.
a romance movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, a really toxic romance movie, but yeah.
Toxic as hell, exactly.
Yeah.
But and it's just the the collaboration of it. Like every department is working their ass off in a horror movie. You got the art department. You got the construction. Everyone is doing what they need to be doing. Even obviously cinematographers and all that, making it look as scary as possible. And they're fun. They're so much fun. I have way more fun getting covered in blood and being sticky and dirty and bumped and bruised than standing, watching someone recite their love for someone over and over again. I'm not hating on romance movies, but
Oh
don't
my
don't come
God.
for me now. But I
Yeah.
just think there's something about horror, and the horror community too is just so awesome. Like understanding, and you can make something that you can clearly see that there's flaws in it, and you can beat yourself up about it, but everyone is so supporting and just like excited that you got something scary on the screen, right? I love that
Yeah.
so much.
And I really love the one thing that I personally love about the horror community as well. We could watch the most dark, depraved, unnerving stuff, but be the most wholesome, welcoming community. Everyone's a
Yes.
hugger, everyone's friendly as hell, and you're like, if
Yes.
only you knew what I watch.
Yeah. Exactly.
Crazy kind of
I
environment.
love it.
And I see you're a metal fan as well. I see Rage Against the Machine there as well. Very similar
Yes.
kind of culture and community as well.
Yeah, and that's a lot of my roommate. I can't take too much
Uh,
credit for that, but he's getting me into it too. I got my
Damn. Okay.
Kill Bill poster. That's my adding to
We'll
it right
take it. We'll take it.
there.
Also a great soundtrack, though. I have to throw that
Yes.
in there. So
Yes.
you recently directed an indie horror short called Cat and Mouse. Can you tell us a little bit about the premise for that film?
Absolutely. Without spoiling it, it's always so difficult. Let's just say it follows a young woman named Michelle who is being attacked by a killer, and she finds out that she's a little bit tougher than she thinks and starts kicking some ass.
Yeah, she's got a lot of Pam Grier about her. I got that vibe. I was
Ah,
like, that final girl, like
yes,
badass energy. I saw it
yes.
and I was like, oh damn, girl. All right, I
That's
see you.
exactly it. Well, what's funny is that I'd never seen Coffee, and when I was writing this, I
Mm,
watched Coffee for the first time, and I was like, "Whoa, she's fucking awesome! I love Pam Grier, and I love
yeah.
Coffee." And I have a friend who plays Michelle Halima, who when I first met her, she had long braids, and then she took them out and got the little fro, and it was just like, "Oh, you're the main character."
Perfect. So good. I'm so in awe of that kind of hairstyle and that DNA. I'm like, oh, I'm jealous. Mine's just rubbish. Anyway, we digress. And
Right.
how did you approach creating a story like that as well? What's your thought process? How do you even start?
For sure. So I guess a little bit of backstory for Cat and Mouse.
Mm.
I was trying to write just anything, and it started as just a normal like killer versus a final girl, right? And that's all I had in my mind. But I met this director, and he was telling me how he was trying to come up with a horror concept, and he's like, me and my friend Nolan Morris, who produced this for me, gaffed it, everything. He's awesome. But he's like, me and Nolan Morris have all this equipment and no story. And I told him, I was like, give me 2 weeks and I will come up with something. And I sat down and it was just, it flowed. And originally it took place just in a house. And
Mhm.
the ending was way different and there wasn't that fun twist that was in there
Yeah.
at all. And so it went through 3 or 4 different versions because our location kept changing. I couldn't nail a location down. And finally, I landed on the bowling alley, and I was just, oh, this is perfect. It was supposed to take place in the '80s, but then I realized it would be fun to have like a modern day slasher, but with that '80s sort of '70s style color to it as well. Obviously, Halima with the hair.
Yeah.
So that definitely was sort of how that came about. I guess I kind of forgot the question. I'm a rambler. I'm sorry.
So how did you come up with that concept though? But you've kind of answered the question, so
Yeah,
you're all good. I ramble too. Don't worry, I go off topic all the time. That's why I'm
yeah,
doing what I'm doing. So
yeah. Well,
that's good.
and I guess the concept too is I never really we've seen black characters. Obviously, Jordan Peele. Thank God we have him, and of course other movies before that. I can't forget about those. But I just haven't felt that I've seen a black strong female lead in a very long time, if not at all, right? I mean, we get glimpses of something and then it's like popular for a second and it's just gone. But we don't have like a black Laurie Strode. We don't have a black Nancy Thompson. Like I wanted someone where I can have an audience of my people go to the movies and be like, that's right, that's right. You're not just the comedic relief. Like you're
Yeah.
the main.
I will take your point though, because there have been glimpses over the
Yeah,
last few years. I forget the actress's name because they always forget me. I'm one for faces, not names, so
yep,
my
me too.
flaw. But like the lady who's in Barbarian for sure, because she's
Yes,
in
yes,
quite a lot of genre. And
yep.
then the lead from They Will Kill You recently had a similar vibe. When I
Yes.
was watching Cat and Mouse, I got that kind of vibe from her as well. And the Kill Bill, obviously, there's a lot of that influence in that film. But you're right, there
Absolutely.
isn't a huge amount of representation, but it's slowly, very slowly getting there. But in
Very
terms of longevity in one character, it's definitely a void. We need to fill that.
right. Someone that can stand the ground and be like, whoa, you're
Mm,
also on the Mount Rushmore of badass women in
yeah.
slasher movies. And I'm also creating a story as an actor too, wanting to be acting in horror and not just dying off right away. Because all the shorts that I've done, I'm dying all the fucking
Yeah.
time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
with strong male black led
Mm.
movies too, because it's possible, it's doable, just gotta write it.
And it's just as important, regardless of race, background, religion, what have you, whatever that figure is, to make that character believable and strong in their own right. But you're right,
Absolutely.
representation has always been a struggle, and it's getting there, but it's not fast enough. So I couldn't agree with you
Absolutely.
more.
Thank you.
And have you had any? What were the challenges you had with the either pre-production, in production, or in post for this film?
Yeah, there ooh, there was a bunch of challenges that were thrown at us. Let's say the constant rewrites because of location, trying to get a location nailed. And I was 22 going on 23 at the time. So it's like young kid, hoping that people believe in me. And I guess like just a little bit of imposter syndrome was the biggest thing. Like getting all these vets that I've worked with, for a couple years now on big commercials and short films, hoping that they will trust my vision, and me being able to voice and trust myself as a director have my actors know that I know what the hell I'm talking about. Just believing in that. And so getting on set, there was no lack of care from anybody. Not saying I need everyone to hold my fucking hand, but it was nice for people telling me like, hey, you're doing a good job for not knowing what the hell you're doing, for just coming from school and working as a PA, then coming onto a professional set. That was one challenge. Another one was the dates just kept switching because someone would get sick, the location wouldn't land, and then we had our dates set. We were gonna shoot, and our sound guy broke his collarbone and was out. And something about the sound people is just impossible to find. They're all busy. They're always working. I should have gotten the sound. I knew I made the mistake. They're always booked and busy, and so finding a sound guy was next to impossible. So then we had to move the dates again to Friday the 13th. That was our first shoot date, December Friday the 13th.
It's an omen, right? It's
It
meant
was.
to be. Yeah.
It was meant to be. Uh, and it all worked out. And so then for post, the same sort of things. Like our composer also works obviously in movies, and he had a feature that he had to finish, and then there was a little behind in that. So then ours got set behind, and then our editor got put onto a movie to be scripty. So just rolling with all those punches again and again, it kind of felt like getting knocked down and having to bring myself up, knock down, bring myself up, like a final boy, right? Got to keep going.
Yeah.
Industry final boy, but that's pretty much what it was. I don't want to say typical movie stuff, because you never know what you're gonna get. Sometimes it's all sunshine and roses, and sometimes it's like you break this happens, so this person's sick, yada yada yada. And we were also doing 3 overnights back to back, right? So yeah, I know features are much more intense, but we were racing against the clock because the bowling alley opened up around 7 or 8, and we would get in, people would be finishing up their games, we're loading in gear, they would get out, and it's like, all right, let's go. We had to have a strict plan. So now the next thing I write is going to take place during the day, and it's going to be
Love this. You're like, yeah, that's that gone. We don't need this challenge. We're just done. Love that.
Is it.
But I guess you're also working on the goodwill of others, right? Because independent filmmaking is a lot about getting the right crew. You were right about sound engineers and DOP and things like that, because and Foley and things, they make or break a film, right? You can have as good a quality as you want, but if the sound's not there, forget it. But and like, I guess you're working on the goodwill of who you're working with, your team, your friends, whoever's involved as well, for time.
Sorry to cut you off. They're just amazing. I had to say that, like, the crew that we had, absolutely phenomenal. Just everyone had a good mindset and mood the whole time. Like 4 a.m, we're all tired and living off of pizza and chicken tenders from the bowling alley. Like, just having the greatest time, and it didn't feel like work. Honestly, obviously the stress levels were there because we're racing against the clock, but nobody crashed out on anybody. It was just amazing. So grateful and thankful for them.
Oh, that's really cool. And so, talking about your crew for a second, how did you approach casting for this?
Yeah, I love that question, because I always tell this one. Me and Halima did a short film together a few years before Cat and Mouse. And I remember meeting her, and instantly we just clicked. She was the main character, and I was playing the love interest of her best friend. But me and Halima were spending more time together, and the director's like, "You need to be over here, Brady. Come on, talk to her." I'm like,
"Build a connection over there, please."
Yeah. But when we weren't rolling, it was just us laughing and having a great time. And I told her, I was like, "Listen, I'm a writer, and I will be hopefully making something one day, and you're gonna be in it. I don't know what it is, but you're gonna be in it." And when she got the little fro, it was even easier to cast her. So that's how that went with Halima. And then Colin, who plays Felix, he was in my capstone project in college, and he played this sort of zombie creature thing, and the way that he just jumped in it and was ready to go. I knew I wanted him for this as well. He brings such like a fun energy. He's really calm
Mhm.
and just grounded, but also really excited when he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
So seeing those two act together, I knew that's what I wanted. Like seeing them on screen was just phenomenal.
That's it. You've got to have someone with a bit of passion for what they're doing that isn't just a paycheck, another job. It's you've
Oh,
got to have that level of somebody who really wants to be there.
yeah, they both really enjoyed it. Like again, it's really hard to ask someone, "Hey, can you do 3 overnights back to back on your weekend? You're not getting paid. The next one you will, I promise." Like
Yeah.
and yeah, absolutely. I'm there. You want blood out? Oh, yeah, okay, come on. Let's do a fight scene.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They're the
That's so
best.
cool. That's so cool. And so, do you think you're going to work with them again in future projects as well?
110%. There's no doubt. And just again, their on-screen chemistry was phenomenal. Watching them act together. Hopefully they'll be in the feature. You know, wink, wink, wink.
Yeah, let's hope so. And you know who's going to be wanting to see that feature as well? Wink,
You will
wink.
be at the premiere. I will. You'll
Oh,
get you there.
oh, I don't know how. I'll have to row across the Atlantic at this rate. I can't afford a flight.
We'll talk. We'll talk.
Awesome, awesome. So how have you found the reaction to Cat and Mouse so far? Because you said it was in film festival contention as well. How have you found the
Yep.
reaction?
So yeah, played at Portland Horror Film Festival, which first festival ever. That was
Yeah.
insane. I was in awe the whole time, just like everyone is so cool here. I'm around all my people right now. I love it.
Yeah.
The reaction, it was well taken. I was very nervous. There was a lot of times I was just watching between my fingers and listening to people's reactions. Um, I think people had a lot of grace for me because it was my first short film. Obviously, there's some flaws. It's not perfect. I learned a lot. Things will be different next go around. And some people mention these things on Letterbox and whatnot, but I didn't let that get to me because I know where I stand, right? And it's
Mm.
art. Art. Everyone's gonna have a different opinion, and some people's opinions don't fucking matter, and some do. Respectfully, right? It just
Yeah,
doesn't
and
matter.
that applies to everything in life, right? But I will also say
Exactly.
from like a personal perspective, the way that I like to approach things, because I'm not a critic, I'm not trained, I'm not educated in that field, I'm just a consumer and have been a lifelong consumer of the genre. But the way I like to think of it is if somebody's going to put their thoughts out there, and it's hard with the letterbox thing because it's just an online platform, like a social thing more than an actual reviewer's platform. But I like to look at it as you can't review a Spielberg against a really grassroots first time indie production, right? You just can't do it. And to your point, there may be flaws that you see, but there are
Mm-hmm.
also flaws in major studio pictures. Like we see massive releases getting dragged over the coals, Silent Hill, anyone? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not
Yeah.
everything is perfect. So you
No.
can, as deep in the weeds as you are with your own piece, take solace in the fact that nothing is perfect. So
Oh,
just to
that's
say,
great advice. Something I will hold on to, and
yeah.
and bringing it back to showing it in front of a whole bunch of people that are genre lovers. It was just phenomenal, and the questions and the support of wanting more people of color, the support of wanting just more slasher movies, because
Yeah.
it's definitely a genre that it ebbs and flows, where it's hot and then it's not, and I think trying to do a slasher and keep it new and fresh is it's hard. It's a challenge. It's a challenge for sure. And hearing the reactions was just awesome. It was well taken, and I'm so thankful.
I think one of the things for me that personally made it stand out was your choice of location, and I'm so glad to hear you switched it. I didn't realize that wasn't the original plan because it's
No.
such a fun. It's like a bowling alley is aired in our childhood memories as a place of joy and nostalgia and fun, and to
Yeah.
take something horrendous and put it in there, you're like, yes, I'll take
Yeah.
it. Thank you. It's
Yes.
wonderful.
Yes. And there's always like you as a writer and a crazy horror movie mind, you walk around your everyday life and be like, how can I make that dangerous? How can someone get maimed by this? And
Yeah.
no spoilers, but there's a ball return that says keep your hands away from this, right? Like as a kid, you're bowling and you look at that, you're like, I'm not gonna do it, but what would happen if I put my
Oh,
hand?
that if your mum tells you the stove is hot, so you put your hand on
Yes.
it. That
Yes,
it's that.
exactly.
It's that
Exactly.
childhood you're just inquisitive and you need to know. But that doesn't
Right.
leave us as an adult. We still very much are, but why can't I? You know?
Right, right. The curiosity killed the cat, right? But the bowling alley is a lot of fun because it switched from house to cabin
Hmm.
to arcade to bowling alley. I wanted to keep some sort of 80s feel. Once I realized having it take place in 1982 would kill me, but the bowling alley already did so much for us, and we just had to come in there and add some of our props and amazing lighting and just and great actors too, and it really brought it all together. And that bowling alley, though, that crew was phenomenal. Like two of them stayed overnight with us, and they showed
Oh,
us how to do this and how to do that, and we're like pressing buttons and playing back here and playing back there. It was just kind of like a little playground for a second.
that's so fun.
Yeah.
Love that. Amazing. And then just to take it back, a step back from cat and mouse for a minute, what do you think it is that makes believable characters and makes them memorable for an audience from your perspective?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Damn. When I personally watch a movie and when I write to, how do I want to put this? I don't want to be like, oh, I root them in real things. I do write a lot of characters that are similar to people that I know in my everyday life. Like Michelle, that's my mom's name, right? So
Oh, nice.
yeah, and my mom, a fucking badass, right? So having taking this like memorable things from people that mean a lot to me within my life, um, fall into my dialogue, fall into my character development, and obviously in a heightened movie making way. I'm trying to think of an example, like the stoic face of Michelle the whole time when she's not screaming her head off and scared, like she's determined, like she knows what
Yeah.
she's got to do. And I think also adding on to that, writing things that we really haven't seen so much of. I think of Your Next, right, with Erin, how she does have that sort of boom, I'm doing this, I'm ready to go. How can I continue with that? So obviously it hasn't been, I mean, it's been done before, but adding to that and continuing that sort of storyline, because we've seen the tripping and falling and screaming and oh my God, I'm crying and scared. And I will add that to the feature of for reasons, but how can I wrangle that back in
Yeah.
and have the character just have pure badassery?
That's it as well, because when you're playing in that short form space, you've got a limitation in terms of your budget, you say your resources, your team, etc., and even the
Yeah.
story to convey a good enough narrative that carries an audience, that holds their attention, but also develops a character. That must be such a challenge unto itself.
It is really hard because, like you said, in long forms of movies, you can start the character a little bit more vulnerable and scared, and they can build into that. They have that character arc, and there's obviously something in between there that gets them to that point, and then you're really rooting for them because you see them go from meek and scared to just if I die, I die. All I know is I'm gonna go. I'm not going down without a fight. And even saying that gives me like the goosebumps. I just love characters like that. I'm such a nerd when it comes to shit like that. But you're right. I had to start it out with just like, bam, okay, we're with a badass and we're staying with a badass the whole time. And people like badasses in horror movies and action movies. So I knew the hook that would get the audience in. And then introducing Felix's character, okay, well, big, imposing, scary killer along with badass, maybe final girl, how will that look, right? So it's pretty much starting the movie right when it gets good in a feature length movie.
Definitely, definitely. Okay, and then do you have a behind the scenes story that you never get tired of telling from your experience in filmmaking?
Oh, from anything?
Anything at all? Tell us,
Uh,
I'm excited to hear.
yes, I do have one. So the first, my capstone project for college, we have a scene where Colin, who plays Felix, gets an axe into the neck, right? We're doing
Nice.
some sort of like again, a slasher backstory with something. It's really small, a small part of the movie. And watching all these special features growing up, I learned about, blood rigs and all this stuff that I couldn't really afford because I was 20 at the time. So I went to Home Depot and bought this empty pesticide pump and tubing, and we wanted to spray blood just everywhere. And we had one take at this, the classic one take. And so he had this robe on, and we ran this tubing through his robe, through his sleeve, and everything. And my DP on Cat and Mouse, Luke, was my gaffer on this capstone. He's pumping this rig, just getting it ready to go, and it's pumping. And finally, we got the take, and blood just sprayed everywhere on everyone, on everything, and it looked phenomenal. And I just stood behind the camera and was like, "We got it! I'm so happy right now." And there was
amazing.
blood everywhere.
And it's at that stage you wish you were a bit Dexter and laid something down for the cleanup, right?
We did. We wrote that in that there was like construction. We had it. We were
amazing.
Good.
Amazing. Oh, that's such a cool story as well. I'm glad it worked out for you because the amount of setup it takes to do those set pieces, to have to reset and clean everything, forget it.
No, forget it is right. Didn't have the budget for that.
No, absolutely not. And do you have any advice for aspiring filmmakers, writers, actors?
Yeah. My biggest thing is once you're on set and you think, oh, we can't do this because of time, get that shot. Get that shot. You will thank yourself later. You don't want to watch your movie and be like, damn, I should have done that, because that's happened to me. It happened. And you will thank yourself later when you sit there and be like, I'm glad we went overtime so we can get that shot. Ask everyone for grace and get it.
That's such good advice as well, because I hear a lot of just do it, and you're like, well, that's great, but
Yeah.
So I love that. That's some solid advice. Thank you. Okay, great. So I'm going to move on to a quick fire round. So first answer that pops into your head. So let's see what comes out of it. So horror or thrillers? I already know the answer. Horror. Yeah. Okay. Heroes or villains?
Ooh, heroes.
Oh, I thought you were going to subvert the narrative there and go with a villain. Okay. No, that's fine. And favorite snack when watching a film?
Oh, shit. What is it called? Like the cookie dough bites.
No, we don't have those. I have no idea.
From the movie
but they
theater?
sound amazing.
Okay.
They sound amazing. Cookie dough, I'm in.
Yeah, people that go to AMC know what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, we've just branched out to getting M&Ms on popcorn over here, so we're a bit behind the times.
Okay. All right.
Although, off topic, I did see a clip from Steve-O from his Jackass promotion recently, and his other half likes to put jalapeno on their popcorn, so they have popcorn and then have a jalapeno, and I need to try it.
Okay.
It's a game changer, apparently.
That
sounds wild. Yeah, that sounds good. That snack game elevated, right? See, I digress. Okay, favorite film director?
Ooh, Wes Craven.
Oh, good choice. Slasher. I see you. Okay, favorite film soundtrack or score?
I know this is a fire round, but give me a second.
That's fine.
I really like. Oh, this is so basic. If I say I never thought.
Say what you want. I love putting people on the spot, man. That's fun.
Yes, I know. Let's just say The Thing.
Ah, yeah, but the basic, The Thing. Oh my god, that's so layered. I love that soundtrack. So
it's my favorite horror movie.
Beautiful. I mean, with good reason. So that's fine. Film you wish you could have directed or would like to remake?
The OG Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Good. That franchise is really splintered, right? I could see you doing a take on that. That could be fun. There's enough out there.
Get in there. I might have to get in there. That might be a little bit. I have some ideas. I've definitely thought about it.
We'll allow the grace for Curry Barker to get in there first, and then You get in after, yeah? Okay, cool.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Well,
sounds good.
tag team, and
Yeah,
it's my
yeah.
turn.
We'll let you take the foreground, so, and I'll pick up the pieces after. Don't
Yes,
worry.
I got the sequel.
Exactly. Oh God, that would be wild.
Uh,
Okay. Dream actor you'd love to work with?
ooh. Ooh, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Good choice. I'm seeing a thread here. This is great. Okay. No,
Yeah,
this is
you
cool.
can tell.
But you, fine. Okay. And then if you were to screen a double feature in your local theatre of 2 films for us to get to know you, what are your 2 films?
I would do The Descent and then Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, wild.
So
Okay.
listen, that movie is like such a feel. Not The Descent. Ferris Bueller's Day Off is such a feel good movie for me. And it's if it's not like, oh, what's 2 movies good back to back? If you want to get to know me, if you want to get to know Brady, watch The Descent, then watch Ferris Bueller, hands down.
Wild choices. But I have a question for you then, because The Descent is notorious for having alternate endings. The
Yes.
UK has a more bleak ending, and
Yep.
the US fades black. Which ending are you going with?
The UK ending, honestly.
Thank you, because it's
Yes.
just chef's kiss. It's
Yes,
wonderful.
it
Yeah.
is. Because you're watching, you're like, oh my God. No spoilers, but oh my God. And then
The film's like 20 years old at this point. It's fine.
you'd be surprised. You would be
Okay.
surprised. I am
Point.
always shocked by how many people say they've never seen that movie. I I'm gonna stray away again, but I showed my roommate. He's like, I want a really just fucked up movie that makes me feel something. And I was like, sit
I
down,
got you.
buddy. We gonna
Yeah.
watch something today.
I love this as well because I get to speak to a variety of different people in the industry and a lot of up and coming filmmakers, a lot of younger, because I'm in my 40s. So, like, oh, there's a bit of generational gap now. And I speak to them and they're like, have you got a film recommendation for me? I'm like, sit down, child. Let me give you a list. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah, I've got a Rolodex, but all the
Mhm,
weird and wonderful gory shit. So, yeah, it's
mhm.
fun. Okay. And then just one final question to round off today. Is there anything you'd like to tell us about Cat and Mouse, perhaps where audiences can catch the film or any upcoming projects?
Sure. So Cat and Mouse is doing a festival circuit right now. We submitted to a couple other festivals and just waiting to hear back from them to see if we made it in. After that, it will be put up on YouTube and it will be able to be streamed and watched, everything like that. In terms of projects, there's a handful of things kind of in the percolator and currently going on. A good friend of mine is making a found footage horror movie, and it's his first ever anything. And so
Sounds
I'm
good.
helping out. I'm acting in that and helping out a lot with that. Just keeping him grounded and making sure he's getting his vision down and staying realistic, obviously. Um, I have a feature I'm sitting on called Manhunt that is about it's my descent, it's my Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It is very I'm not Janine, it is crazy. It is wild. If you
I'm
love
excited.
gore,
Yes,
thank you.
yes,
If
yes,
you
yes.
love gore,
Tip.
yes, check that off. It follows 4 friends that recently graduated college, and they're going on a canoe trip. And you think it's going one way, but it goes a completely different way. And it sounds basic, but there's some twists and turns in that. I'm writing another feature called Pen and Paper, and it's about a young guy that got quick fame making a slasher movie. I don't want fame. I know that's what it sounds like. I want to be respected in the industry. But this character got quick fame, and then it quickly crashed and burned when he hit about 35, and now he's trying to revamp himself. And it's all about what's horrifying to me is having people in your life that you trust and love that become dangerous. So that's that story. And then, of course, we have the feature to Cat and Mouse, which I have a whole mess of things going on in my mind for that I need to sit down and just get my 90 pages done. So that's what's
I'm
going
not.
on.
I'm not going to add to your list for Cat and Mouse, but if there's not a children's birthday massacre in there, I'm going to be disappointed.
And Cat and Mouse.
Yeah, because I mean, it lends itself to it. Kids' birthday parties in a bowling alley.
Wow, you just gave me a really fucking good idea.
I know. I want
You
EP
just gave
status
me-
on your film, dude.
Whoa,
Consulting.
no, that we'll have when you stop the recording. I'll have to tell you something. 'Cause
Please,
that's
yeah.
perfect.
Okay.
That's
We'll have a
perfect.
conversation. Fly me
Yes.
over. I'm on set.
Yeah.
Wild. Oh, it's been wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Brady, for taking the time to chat with me. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I'll drop all your socials and everything links below so everyone can drop you a follow and keep up to date with everything that's going on.
Yes, thank you for having me, Janine. Until next time.